Hi, I'm Shannon from houseimprovements.com. Today I want to show you how to clean your furnace flame sensor. Flame sensor is a fairly simple looking little piece of equipment. But you don't want to touch this rod end, so that's why I'm being careful with it. Basically it has a wire connector area on the one end. It's going to have a plate here with a bolt or maybe even two screws through it to hold it into the furnace. And then it's got this porcelain piece right in here, and then this long rod. Basically what this does is as your furnace gas valve turns on, allows gas to come in, your igniter ignites that gas, and it starts to flame and burn for a few seconds. This sensor here is sensing whether there's a good flame there, or whether there is a flame at all, or whether the valve is just allowing gas to spew into your house. If this sensor doesn't sense that there's a flame there, or the heat there, I guess, what it does is shut your furnace down. So what your furnace would do then, and a symptom you might find is that you can hear your furnace cycling, 2 or 3 times in a row, where it'll light, and you can hear the fan and everything turn on, and it'll burn for a few minutes and then shut itself down. Not even a few minutes, maybe 1 minute, and then it shuts itself down. And then maybe 2-3 minutes later it'll do the same thing, and it might, different furnaces are a little different, but it might do that 3 or 4 times in a row. And if that sensor is sensing there isn't a flame there, after that 2 or 3 times that it tries to do it, it actually will shut your furnace down, usually for a period of time, maybe up to an hour or 2 hours before it tries that cycle again. And it's a safety measure just to be sure that you are igniting the gas and it isn't just spewing into your house. So the common problem is, though, that these sensors get dirty and they don't properly sense that there is a flame there, even though it's there, and they'll shut your furnace down because they don't think that it's there. So they need some periodic cleaning. I'd recommend probably beginning of every season or the end of every season, whichever way you want to do it. Just try to remember to do it. So what you want to do is take the main cover off the front of your furnace. And before this, what we did was actually turn the power off. Let's get this behind me here. We turned the actual power off to the furnace to be sure that it won't cut in on us. Now we need to locate our sensor. If you look up on this, now every furnace is going to be a little bit different. Sometimes they're right down here near the burners. This one happens to be up top where these burners are. You're going to find a couple different things. You're going to have your igniter and this temperature sensor here, and they're usually going to have 2 wires connected to them. Okay, so those that's kind of how you can identify them. We're looking for the single wire, which is right back here, and usually you can see this porcelain end sticking out as well. Okay, so we're looking for a single wire with a porcelain end. So that would be the location in this furnace that our flame sensor is at, and we need to at this point remove it. And we want to be careful, like I said, not, once we're removing it, not to touch the rod end, the sensor end. So I'm just going to gently pull off this electrical connection. Now this is low voltage, but like I said, we turned the furnace off just to be sure. And this one has 1 screw. Just about none of them are ever in a real easy spot. This one isn't too bad. So we're just going to undo this screw. And try to get this all down without losing the screw. Come on. There we go. Just pull it down out of there. Try not to scrape it across everything. And I'm going to take this sensor. I guess that screw is going to stay in there. I'm just going to take it up to a better surface so I can show you the difference between the new and this dirty old one. So I just want to show you the difference between the new sensor here and the old one. You can see this one's, it's not really shiny, but it's clean. This one here, you've got some charring, a little bit of carbon buildup or whatever on it, and you can definitely see that it needs a little bit of cleaning. This one wasn't actually acting up, but we're just taking it out to give it a little clean at the beginning of the season here. Okay, so I'm going to set down the new one. Now what we want to do is you want to use something really not very abrasive on this, because we don't want to harm the outer surface of that actual sensor. So in this case, what we're using is a number 4, like a 40 grade steel wool. So it's a really fine steel wool. You don't want to use a sandpaper unless it's, you know, maybe like a 1000 grit wet sandpaper or something. But even then, you just have to be really careful not to damage. The problem with if you damage that, you know, get some real scratches into there, you end up taking the outer surface off, and you just reduce the life of the sensor itself. So I'm just going to take this steel wool, and I'm trying again, like I said, not to touch it with my fingers. I'm just giving it a little bit of a cleaning here. Now we probably won't get all of the black char that's on it off. And I don't know, I hope the light's all right here for you to see, but just giving it a little shine, or not really a shine, but just getting off any chunks. You can kind of feel when you start, there's almost a little bit of grit or residual char on there. Once you get it shined up, you can tell that it's much smoother, shinier, or not shinier, but just smoother. Okay, so there we are. Now, like I said, we aren't getting it completely shiny or clean looking like this one, but we're just getting off any char that will actually remove off there to help it sense the flame better. Okay, so we've got that all down. Now it's just a matter of putting it back in there. And again, we're just being careful not to scrape it across everything. Just going to stick it up in that location that it was. See if I can get the screw started here with my fingers. So it's not real difficult to do. There's no point in paying someone to come and do it when you can do it yourself. This is a gas furnace, of course. To be real honest, I don't know if a propane one would have the same setup. I guess it could have the same setup, but this one here is natural gas. So we've got that in there and tightened up. Now I've just got to put the connection back on, just like that. Just make sure it's pushed on all the way. And then what we'll do is turn the furnace switch back on and cycle the furnace through and make sure that it actually does fire up and stay running. So that would be kind of your test to do when you're all finished. I'm not going to do that here today because, like I said, we weren't actually having a problem at the time. We were just doing this as a preventative maintenance. But if you do come home, or you happen to be home and you can hear your furnace cycling, this would be the first thing that I would check. Because as long as you can see that it actually is lighting the flame and the burners are lighting, but it keeps shutting itself down before it actually comes on and heats the house up, then this would be the first thing that I would check. This homeowner actually has a spare one on hand just in case. They aren't terribly expensive. I'm going to guess that it's probably under $30 or around 30 bucks. So, you know, even to have a spare one on hand, you hate to have it actually quit working altogether, and you know, it's a Sunday or something and you can't get one and it's 40 below outside. So you know, he just has it on hand. So anyways, that's really all you need to do with that. Once you're done, like I said, turn the power back on, put our cover back in position, and do a test, and you should be good. So I'm glad that you're able to watch our video or find it here on YouTube. We have many other videos on our YouTube channel. You can go on there and check them out, and if you want to, you can subscribe to our channel, and then you'll get some notification every time we post something up new. You can also check out our website at house-improvements.com, and there we have articles and you know, some links to the videos and different things as well. And also watch us on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks a lot.